3-minute warning, 3-minute warning. We'll get started at 9 p.m. on the dot. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. It is 9 p.m. and I will let people in as they come. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Zoom. Listen, if you guys are TWR premium members, you guys get to come into the live trading that we do on the Zoom. Ask questions, real-time advice, guidance, and stuff like that. If you do the YouTube, that's of course going to be delayed and everything like that, but you can still ask questions in the chat and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and hop into some stuff, man. So let's go ahead and look at what has been popping. All right. I have some stocks already over here that we've been looking at, and these are the ones that are moving and shaking. We'll cover some of those earnings and stuff that happened tonight that made some real big moves and things of that nature. So, other than that, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about Apple tonight. What I want to talk about specifically on this is expectations. Okay. Right now, we are looking at high expectations, specifically for the mega cap tech stocks. And, that's the Apple, that's the Meta, the Google, Tesla's in there, the Qs, and things of that nature. The issue that comes when we're looking at this big expectations is that when they don't meet the expectations, you're probably going to see a little bit of a pullback. So there's a lot of um, hitting marks, but not exceeding the marks. And that is probably going to see a little bit of a pullback in the market overall. I don't anticipate us having like a crash that people are afraid of and stuff like that. But I do see us pulling back a little bit and probably opening lower tomorrow, which I would be looking for an intraday pump from some lows. Let's go ahead and look at Apple right now. We got the 5 minute open over here. We're going to go ahead and just kind of see what Apple did. I want to go ahead and get a range on it real fast. And let's go ahead and do a range of 5 day. I want to go ahead and get this in here. All right. So we got a 5 day chart right here, and I got some basic moving averages and stuff like that. But what I want you to see is Apple. If we go ahead and put a line on this, let's go ahead and put a line, and we want something that has a little bit of everything, right? Let's go ahead and find a little base here. All right, 22, 226.41, right? That looks to be about a good little top level. Let's go ahead and find one for the bottom. Again, we want something that covers everything a little bit. We'll go ahead and color that red, right? We'll color this one darker blue. Those are my colors, by the way, for high and low. So now we have what we're looking at range. Okay. Anytime you hear about range, here's a range example. Okay. Pushes from the highs to the low, how we're trading in a range. So we're looking at range right here. We got the 223 and the 226.50 about range. You could probably pop it up a little bit higher, but this we want something that covers, like I said, over here, covered here, multiple areas, meat and potatoes. Okay, that's what we're looking for when we're looking to eat. Inside of here, of course, is our range of trading. So how are we looking for probability? Well, we're going to go ahead and put lines. Let's go ahead and get a line right here in the middle. And we just want something again. We want something that, but it's covering most of the stuff that we're looking at, right? So we're going to go ahead and probably right about there. That looks good. All right. Now, notice we got 3 lines, top, low. Okay. So what are we doing with here? Well, now we have levels so that we can look for a potential trade. So when we're looking for the trade, we're going to go ahead and come out of this 5 day range over here. And let's go ahead and get into, an actual day. Come into a 2 minute. Here's a 4 hour. We don't need that range. We want 1 day, 5 minute. All right. So here's our 5 minute on the day. Basically, here's the bell. What time we got? 21. All right, local time. So 8:30 was the bell. So 8:30, here's a bell. $8:30. And of course, we're looking for our closing bell, which would be 15. Boom. Okay, closing. And there's after hours over here. All the way up until 19, 20, 2000, right? Okay. So opening bell. Go ahead, come on in. And I think that's right. I don't know. I can't remember if this is done. Yeah. Okay. So opening bell. We coming out, looking flat. We got our top coming in here. Notice we didn't come down. Right now we're below this midpoint in the after hours market. Okay. So we need to watch that. What we want to go ahead and do is we want to go ahead and set up a plan. We tell ourselves, all right, look, it's our midpoint, right? This is that 224.66. If we stay below 224.50, we're probably going to look for an initial push and then a dump, right? A slide going back towards this line, just kind of like we did over here, right? We came up here, we rejected, we came back down to the midline. We held this right for a little bit. Now we're rejecting. We're looking for the push down here. So we're looking for about a one, maybe $2 move to the downside. And that'll be looking at potential puts at the opening bell. Now, of course, pre-market may prove to push this back towards these levels. So we'll have to play that by ear. And then if that's the case, we'll go ahead and go off of the pre-market high, the pre-market low, and then we'll look for our ranges in between. But right now, looking at how we are here currently, how we are below our 50-50 line, I'm going to go ahead and think, all right, guys, if we stay below this and we're below our moving averages and we still get some of that bearish sentiment, I'm going to go ahead and think short and probably play the puts. So I'd be looking for, 223, maybe a 220 put pushed out into the end of the week, if not going into August 2nd. And that'd be the trade I'd be looking for. If we start to close above this, I'd be looking for the call going towards our peak. So I'd be looking for that 225, 226 call pushing us up towards this way. Meta, no different. Pulling it in, looking at the 5 minute. Let's go ahead and look at the 30 minute first. Let me see something. Together, it creates that ideal of steakhouse steak. I had a little burn on my sourdough. It did pull away a little bit from the cohesiveness, but I love this fish. All right, there we go. I wanted some things so we could see. Okay, here we go. We're looking at Meta. Now, we actually went long Meta because we were expecting here. We were expecting continuation off of this. We saw the push. We came down here. We were making a lower high. We pushed up. We thought we were going to get some continuation. It sold off extremely a lot, a lot more than we thought it was going to. And so that basically kind of took us from a level where we thought we'd have this 492 level. We're already back $10 lower. So these calls that we have are going to probably be just absolutely crushed unless we catch some of this in pre-market and it pushes us back up to the level. So we'll have to play that again. That one's going to be played by ear. But when we come into the 5-day, all right, come back into the 5-day. Why is this not working? All right. This is the final round, and regardless of how first two went, everything is on the line. I'm making this round with double. It's only one dish this round. Kevin is in charge. He gets okay. So we got a little bit of a period here. I'm not sure why this is not reacting today. It's not giving me my normal chart. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that was happening, but we got it now. All right. So Meta again, right? We're looking for the trade. We're going to go ahead and find a top level that we like. And remember, right here, since we were on this upswing, okay, we're not going to be able to find a top level that covers everything. But we can find a decent level that has some of our potential, right? And we want to come in here and find some of this meat and potatoes area. Right about here looks good to me, right? Because we're touching here, we got some near touches, and then we got all of this price action that we had today. Let's go ahead and come in and look for our low. All right, we come right here, and as you can see, we got some price action previously over here as well. So we do like that. We do like this level area here. We're going to go ahead and call that there. So since we're on the bottom part of this right here, We have to assume that we got a bearish stance for some reason, whatever reason it is. The market sold off, whatever. Probably fear from some of the underwhelming earnings that were coming, which is fine. You know, what we're gonna do is, again, we're gonna put our little 50-50 line up in here. And we're going to do this, okay? We're going to expect to come down towards this line. So we could play short in the morning, as long as we'll have to look at pre-market, of course. But right now, we're just trying to make a plan. We could play short off of this dump here and expect us to kind of come down. Now, we might get the surge at the bell, right? But if the sentiment holds, and I'm talking about overall sentiment for a bear type of market, then we're probably going to want to kick off of the pump. We want to go ahead and kick and probably look short, at least to come back and retest this area here to see if we can hold and maybe even break through it. If we start to break and hold strong and the sentiment starts to change, then what we want to do is we want to probably ride and look for the push back up to the 490s. It'll all depend on how we react to certain news and certain pre-market earnings and stuff like that. So this is all susceptible to what's going on with the earnings specifically and how pre-market goes. There's some news here. I want to see what this news is. It's just presidential news and stuff. So this would be the idea for the trade, okay? We hold this level, we look for the initial push up. We're expecting, if it's a bearish sentiment, we're expecting rejection, and then we're going to ride it down. If we get some bullish push and we start to come up here and we start to breach in pre-market, then we can potentially look for the push back up to the 490s. And then we could see if we're holding and going to like reclaim this top. This could be just a pullback before the push, right? We've seen it here before. It's done it multiple times. You get your here, you get your push, and then you get here, and now you're breaching. Okay. Kind of did it over here. We hit this level and then it just pushed, right? Came down and then it pushed higher, right? We come down and maybe we push higher, hit that 500 and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this does. Nike, we've been waiting on Nike, man. Nike does this stuff and it gets us excited, man. Like yesterday, Nike push, right? I mean, this is a fantastic move for Nike. You go from like 72 all the way up to 75, and then you start consolidating out, and then you just dump right today. We have to assume that Nike's just going to be trading in this range. If you go out a little bit, you can see after the dump here, you can see I've done this chart quite a bit, right? After we dumped, we've been staying pretty tight inside this range here. This is pretty tight range. I mean, if you look at it, we got really right. We got about the 76. And you got about the 71. Okay. That's a pretty tight range that we've been trading in. We bring that down a little bit. All right, 75 to 71, right? That's pretty tight range that we've been trading in a Nike. So we want to go ahead and start looking for our potential break or our hold. And we're going to go ahead and put our lines in here. Again, we want that midline where we got nice price action, right? We got support here, price action, and we're right here at the cusp. Okay, so we're looking for our breach, either break down to the downside and reclaim, or we're looking for our bounce from support and the peak higher. I want to see the peak higher. Every time we kind of come down and we start to hit, and then we start to fizz out a little bit. So we start the lesson. We got this negative divergent coming here. We're sold off. I mean, you can see that we're consolidating mode. I want to see this push to the upside. I love to see Dow get a good move. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the calls on this one pushing up. I have 80s. I don't know if we're going to get it there. I hope we can get the breach and a break. If once we break here, guys, it's open season. Okay, we've come up, we've fought this area multiple times, fought this area and pulled back, fought this area and pulled back. We finally breach. We're right back here, right? We need to hold this level and push and break. Once we break here, we're going to be pushing. I could see us pushing all the way up to 80, but probably maybe that would be just a wick out, come back, and then coming in here somewhere 78, 77, something like that. But we need that break to the upside, and I'm waiting on this one. This one's going to get us a good payday. We might have to wait another week, but we're going to get paid off for this one. Believe that. This one was disappointing. And I don't know about this one because I was anticipating this doing a lot better than it did. Right now, we are below one of our fib lines. If we come out a little bit, we got some fibs here, right? We're below this fib right over here. So we are looking like pretty rough towards the bottom portion of this fib. So unless we get a strong push, because we came out of consolidation mode and we broke to the downside. So this is breaking support. And anytime you break support, it usually opens the floodgates. So we could be looking for a push back into the low 60s, into the 50s. Potentially puts may be a good idea on this one, unless we can open up and hold this level tomorrow morning and then look for that break. Because we do got this gap here and we got this cut pattern handle, a little bit of a dip. So if this breaks and it continues retesting down here, high probability. If we can break to the upside in pre-market and hold strong market with overall sentiment, we could look to breach this particular gap and hopefully break some of these levels that we have to the upside. Google was interesting. Let's go into 30 minutes. So Google was all over the place today. And rightfully so. Okay. High anticipating earnings. Again, this is what we were talking about with those tech earnings. Okay. High anticipation. Okay. I mean, you could see it like it wasn't even trading. It was trading in tight range the past couple days, anticipating these earnings. You got a huge wick out here. Look at this first wick, this first candle here, right? Look at 186 all the way to 177. Huge move. And then we had another push, right? And then we started failing. So we failed. Now we got the step ladder with the slide. We're probably going to look for another slide to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this going into 175 into the 170s. When we push out a little bit further, it's been a while, but come out a little bit further. Okay. You got triggers that you definitely can use. Okay. Put the trigger here. Put trigger here. All right. We're going to go ahead and color those purple. Anytime I do triggers, I always color them purple. All right. These are triggers. We trigger off the top, we're looking long. We're looking long towards 200. Okay. We trigger off the bottom, we're looking short, and we need to then go with the levels. All right, we got some levels right here. And we can look at for these levels. Currently, price action is right about here, right? Next, 174. We fail that. 169. Okay. So we need to pay attention to this. We're probably looking short on this one. You got to think short. Looking at this chart after the earnings, you got to think short. And we're looking towards this 174 first and then going into the 160s. So I'd be looking, I wonder what options are. Okay. Um, big volume, 165, pretty decent price. We got a higher theta than delta, but that's because it's anticipating 160. This looks pretty good, but you got to pay for it. This 175, that one's going to be probably pretty good guaranteed on August 2nd. If you want to play an out the money trade, I'd be looking for this 165, maybe this 160. Um, volume's decent, open interest. This one's not too bad. You got a delta of 10, and then your theta is 14. So as long as we keep the momentum to the downside, we could definitely play off of that one. And it supports our levels here. We break down here, next level. Second level is usually where you start to look for your calls or your puts on the second level. Tesla. Okay. Oops. Tesla not looking good. Um, Tesla probably now Tesla's notorious for having these huge moves to the downside, like you see, and then just rallying the next day and being like 300. So you can never know with Tesla, right? But we have to assume, we got to assume that we're going to fail here because we already broke previous, right? And we're down here. So it's pretty much we got a free fall almost all the way to a gap. I mean, we got a gap fill down here, right? We almost got a free fall all the way from 227 to 200. So we definitely need to pay attention to this. Um, I don't really know how we can play Tesla. Tesla's one of those you just have to watch on the day and trade it. But looking at the chart and looking what they did on earnings and how it's kind of pushed all the way from here so dramatically, I could definitely see the case for pushing back between here and 200. So if I were going to create a little box, right? Maybe push this up a little bit, right? Okay, so we got our little box. Here's, a nice little shelf. Here's some other stuff. Oh, I got a question. DUK, Carvana, and UMP. Yeah, I'll cover those. Problem. Got you. All right. Right here, coming down, we're looking, let's go and put a line in the middle of this. All right. That's where we're looking right there, 212. All right. So I'd be looking for the push down to 212, where we'd hopefully find some support and push back up. Everyone wants to see Tesla boom. UPS too. Got you. All right. So we're looking, that's where I'm going to look for the dump down to 212 and see where we're at. Um, let's take let's take some of these questions that we had. Let's do Duke first, DUK. All right. DUK. All right. Ooh, nice chart. Okay, DUK. Bird's eye view. We're in the 4 hour here, right? 4 hour DUK. Okay. We right now we got a nice push to the upside. Chart looks really good for continuation. It's an energy name, so energy usually holds up fairly well. Off the 4 hour chart, let's go ahead and put some lines on here. All right, we got some lines. So now what is this giving us? This giving us our top and our bottom right here. Let's go ahead and come in a little bit. 30-minute. All right, we got a nice little 108, 109 at the top, basically, right? And then we got 105. As long as we were to stay bullish sentiment, how's our indicators look? Only thing concerning with this one of holding these upper levels is we're starting to fail on the MACD. RSI supports oversold conditions. But we're looking at two negative indicators right here. MACD pushing to the downside plus crossing down past a histogram. We also got the lower level of the squeeze coming out. The only positive one for potential reversal would be the RSI, but that's only giving us one of the three. So, 2/3 of our sub indicators are negative. Also, if we come in here a little bit, we're below our moving averages. So on our main chart, we're below our normal EMAs and moving averages. And volume has been tapering off a little bit. And volume to the put side is rather high, is higher than the call side. So we want to be conservative on this one. We put our trust into a potential move to the upside, but we need to expect the dump with a potential $2 push to the downside, a cooling off period. Let's come in a little bit. Here's the 5-minute. Let's go ahead and create some triggers for some trades, right? Just off of price action. Using this one. Call this one our top, right? 107.78. Come in here. Let's find some support. This is support on the day, but it's going to turn into our battle zone, right? And now we need to find one more to the bottom, and we're looking previously for some decent levels with price action. See the tables, a lot of price action here going on. Got a little bit down here, but it comes back up. A lot of price action here. So there we go. Now we got our levels, right? Battle zone here. We're looking for the hold above 107. Right now we're at 107.30, right? So we want to hold above the orange line. Basically where we're at, we want to hold that. If we start to reject our battle zone, we're going to probably think short, at least come down here and retest some of the support level that we have from previous, right? If we stay above this, we're going to look and hope that it pushes continuation and we push to the upside to go attack this point and potentially breach up to the upside, which would support the further out portion that we have here of going to reattack and establishing a new high. All right. So that's an idea for that one right there. CVNA. All right. Carvana. Let's look bird's eye view approach. Coming into the 4-hour. All right. Carvana's been on a tear. Crazy run, right? I mean, I gotta highlight this, okay? McJohn, he's in here with me, man. NTWR. He remembers when this thing was what, like $15 or something, and we were preaching people. We were saying, listen, this thing, and I think it was even lower than that. I think it was like $4 maybe. And we were telling people, listen, buy shares of this, buy shares of this. This thing is going to not be this low, for very long. And it took about, a good year for it to go. But those people that bought them shares over there at $10 or less, listen, you guys hold them shares, man, because you guys are still take profits, but keep you some shares of that because that was a gift. All right, Carvana. Let's get serious. All right, Carvana. Let's go ahead and put, oops, got chatting. Yeah, yeah, you banked. Hell yeah. Yep. It was a good play, man. Let's go ahead and come in here. All right. It was a good level. All right. Okay, we're just gonna play this one basically right off the levels, okay? We're below level here. We're looking for that push back to the downside, 116 or so, right? And that's supported with a previous price action over here. If we can break above this level here, what is this level? This is 130, right? 130, we can say 130.25. We hold above 130.25. we're probably looking for that push to the upside, and we can start looking for establishing a new high on this one. So this will be important. If we can hold above, we're looking for the run. All right, the next run. We need to give ourselves some time, though. Definitely need to give ourselves some time. We have to let this mature, right? Got to let this mature. So if we're looking on options, see what we got. Let's look at calls first. Woo, they're expensive. Jeez. What's our target? Where's our chart? Is this the chart? 147. We probably look at 150s. Yep, you gotta let it mature. Absolutely. Gotta let it mature. That's why you gotta buy yourself some time so you don't have to worry about a lot of these this craze with this zero DTEs, right? Has created this um relent or resistant to patience. Because everything wants to be fast paced, right? But sometimes you have to let these mature because if you're playing off these levels, you have to let the price action kind of wade through some choppy waters, and then you can start to see the volume kick in, the price action kick in, and then that can move and start manifesting into the potential trade that you want at the goal, right? It's funny. I was talking to my daughter about the word manifest today, and I just used it. Anyways, um, you got to pay. This would be one of those that unless you're banking hard, right? You probably are only going to take one or two contracts. This one, it's just and you can look at the ones everyone's thinking. They're thinking the same stuff we are. 145, 150, right? You probably could get this one. Buy one to five contracts. And this one right here, if we get the push to the upside, would probably end up banking pretty hard. I could see this doubling, if not, tripling. This could be one of those plays. Going out the money. This is just gambling, going too far out the money. 175. I hate even suggesting stuff like that, man. I hate even suggesting going that far out the money on trades like this. Whoa, where's my chart? Hello. Okay, there's my chart. I was like, where'd my chart go? Um, because it's not supported, man. I, I mean, I could see it. We pull out to the week, right? Pull out to the daily. All right. We haven't been there for a minute. Okay. Let's go range 6 months. We haven't been there for a minute. We pull out to the weekly. Okay, we can see it. Yeah, I could see the push. We got some levels here pushing out to the weekly. We got our top level here. This is at 146. The next level above that, of course, we're looking at 196, 200. Um, man, that's pushing it. That's really pushing. I don't like that too much. And that's quite a bit. But so I don't suggest going that far out the money, not that close. If you went out there, you're gonna have to if you're gonna play options on this one, you're gonna have to spend some money. That's basically what it is in a nutshell. You're gonna have to spend some money if you're gonna play some options. So I can't sit here with a clear conscience and say this 175 or this 180. I just don't see it, man. I'd be playing this 160. I could definitely see this 150 is the preferred one. 160 at the most, outside the money. That's about as far as I would go. So you're gonna have to spend some money if you want to play it. All right. What's the other one? UNP. I was looking at UNP earlier, Union Pacific. Remember we banked on this a couple years ago, or maybe not a couple years ago, but maybe like a year ago or so. Let's go ahead and 4 hour chart. All right, we got we got three crows on the 4 hour chart. You can see it coming down here. Um, this could be setting up for a potential tweezer play, right? You get your three crows, but these are shallow red candles, and then we could potentially be looking for, the three up, where we start to reattack our consolidation, and then we breach to the upside. But we also got some support over here. So we could be looking for a little bit of a downtrend, looking at this 136 or something like that. So I would be cautious on this one. Let's go ahead and put some levels here. We're going to go ahead and look 242 at the top. Let's go ahead and put a level here at the bottom. We're going to look at 236. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to put that smack right there in the middle. What am I using? I'm using these price actions. So I got the bottom candle here. I got the top candle here. We're right in the middle, right? That's going to be our battle zone. All right. We stay below this. We're looking for shorts all the way down to 236, where we're expecting to get bump from support, right? We start to breach above this. We're going to go ahead and look long 242 and potentially even longer breaching out. Again, buying time. Let's look at the contracts. August 2, if you notice something, I'm only looking at August 2 or further, right? I'm not looking at any of the earlier stuff. 250, doesn't have much volume. 245, that's basically where, oh, great though. Look at this. Look at these delta to theta ratio. You got 30. So for every $1 move of the underlying stock, our premium that we're paying for it, right, is going to move about $30 for every $1 move. So, this thing goes to 240.50, right? $1 move. Our premium now is going to push $30 higher. As long as we can keep that momentum going up, we'll be able to make some money. This is a good play right here. Yeah, 245. I like it. August 2nd, 245. That's a good setup. I do like this one too. Um, Volume on the day is low. Open interest. This one would be okay. You couldn't go in deep on this one because it doesn't have the volume to support it. But I like this play as well. This one's a decent one. 250, but 245 is a preferred play. You can see it supported, volume, open interest, delta theta ratio is really nice. And this is probably the best bang for your buck right here. Yep. So yeah, 245, August 2nd. I like that trade right there. UNP. We could look to the short if we fail. Again, August 2nd. What are we looking for? 230. Oh, they're cheaper. Look at this, 19 to 15. That's okay. 230. What was our chart again? Was there 236? We could go a little outside of money. 230 supported over here. And it's supported at this. We got a gap up right there. We could potentially go a little bit out the money on this one. 230. I could see it. 235 would be the preferred trade. It just doesn't have much volume on it. So everyone's banking on the continuation to the upside. 230 would be a preferred trade, grabbing, 1 to 5, staying within the volume range. Okay. What was the other stock? UPS. Gotcha. Yeah, those of you that just hopped in here, man, if you want me to cover a stock, go ahead and put the stock in the chat group and we will cover it. Ooh, ooh, oh man, I forgot about this one. This one tanked on earnings, didn't it? Ugh, that's ugly. That is ugly. Look at that. Ew, that's disgusting. All right. 4 hour chart, bird's eye view approach. See what we got. Okay. This one, let's just go ahead and we're just gonna go put basic triggers on here. Trigger at the top, trigger at the bottom. And what I'm using is I'm using the price action. Just using the price action. Trigger top, trigger bottom. Now let's go ahead and come in. You can see we can ride it a little bit, right there, right. And this price we want it on the candlestick. We don't care about the wicks. We want on the candlestick. All right, and what are we? Are we in the 4 hour chart still? Yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the 30 minute. Okay, so we dumped, right? We continue to slide. We scraped the bottom, popped up a little bit, and now we're in here. So pretty tight. The good thing is we crossed to the upside. RSI has shown a little bit oversold on the 30 minute, but we're starting to curl up and breaching above our histogram on the squeeze. So we do like this one. This is a pretty decent setup. The probability of this would be to go long. We're looking for the breach of here. I'd be waiting for the trigger though, okay? Honestly, I'd be waiting for the triggers. We trigger here, we're going short. We trigger here, we're going long. We're thinking long though. We're thinking long first. This 129.75. I'd be looking for that breach, and then I'd be looking for the push to back up here to about 134. All right. I'd be looking because that's where it's supported here. This candlestick came down, and then you saw a nice little shelf created with some bubbling price action before we dumped again. Okay, so come here, we breach this trigger, boom. We're gonna look for that $4 push to the upside. UPS bank, that's the thing I have to let it mature. Yep. That's what I was thinking. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you. Ah, we want some SPY. Armand wants some SPY. Yeah, Pac-Man, I'm glad you got what you were looking for, man. Let's do SPY. Yeah, we'll do the ETFs, man. I got you. All right, SPY. Let's go ahead and see what we got. 4 hour. We're gonna do SPY, we're gonna do QQQ, and then we're gonna do IWM, okay? SPY. All right. Okay. Here's basically a 6 month, 4 hour chart that we got in SPY, right? Gonna go ahead and put some levels on this one. Right there. Okay. All right. So we're looking like we're cooling down a little bit. All right. Nothing we can do about that. I mean, SPY is heavily weighted with that tech, and if the tech pushes out, those are the mega caps, guys. When you got these big boys like the Apples and like the Microsofts and like the Nvidias and stuff like this, we got those big boys and they're selling off. I mean, it doesn't matter, something that's, you know, underneath $1 billion company is not really going to move the needle. Okay. These ones that are in the trillions, they're moving needles. And we're selling off, looking like we want to come here. So if we stay bearish, we'll probably breach this 550. We'd if we breach 550, it opens up the floodgates for definitely the 545. SPY likes to move within the $5 ranges, the 550s, the 555s, the 560s, so on and so forth. It likes to move in the $5 ranges. So that's how we play it usually, how I like to play options with the $5 range. So if we stay bearish, this is that level here. This is what 540. We can consider that 550, right? I'm going to go ahead and look for the 545 options. Looking at puts. We want to give ourselves some time. Right here. I'd be looking for this one. You can see where I'm not the only one, right? 550 has a lot of volume, a lot of open interest. 545 again, okay. So I'm not, I'm not the only one that looks at that type of stuff as well, right? So that would be this would be the out the money trade I'd be looking for. This 550 would be the preferred trade and giving us all this time. Okay, this 26. Okay, we're at 553. That's what we closed at. We stay, like I said, we stay bearish. Okay, we stay bearish. We're looking for that push to the downside. If we find support here, let's go ahead and come in a little bit. All right. If we find support over here, we're going to go ahead and we start to bounce, right? We're going to go ahead and look for a retest of recent highs, right? Recent levels. Okay. We're not looking for this. Not quite, not yet. But again, look at that 555, right? Pretty much on the dot. We come down here, we test this, we say, you know what? We're not ready for the push down to the downside yet. We're going to go ahead and come up. We're going to look for the bounce play. Down here, we hold. We're going to look for the bounce play back up to 555. All right, that would be our trade. We'd probably play 555 calls on that one. Same time frame, 26, right? And we're looking for not bad price, right? Not too bad. We could even play 560 out the money a little bit. Again, not the only people that are thinking that. We're not the only people thinking it. Look at in this one, look at that 51,000. So the 555 call, 51,000. All right. But we'll get a better price. If we pull to the downside, we'll get a better price entry on that one. And then we play the 555 call and we push out to the end of the week and hopefully make some money. QQQ. All right, QQQ similar as SPY. We're selling off in the tech. Again, we're going to go ahead and pull up the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and put our levels in there. All right. Right. And you guys asked, it's like, why is it this level? Well, you got to have some point, right? So this is the low, this is the high, and we got some other levels here that haven't quite hit that low again, right? So since this is the low, this is the high, and we're within this window, we're just going to come and play that, with no sense in holding this other craziness that's way back here. We're just going to start playing and looking for the trade within this high-low range. Okay. All right. There's our lines here. We're already breached below here, so we're looking like we want to probably come back down to this line here, this 470, and give us a nice little push. So if tech continues to sell off, we're looking for that reach down to the bottom to 470, reestablish and see about that line right there. So we're going to come in a little bit. There's our levels right there. We got our top line here. I like that. We can go ahead and do some intra lines. Come in here. All right, color that orange, not to establish. Looking for that top. I like this off the shelf right there. Bottom. Okay. So there's our thing, right? These are the triggers. We trigger here. We're looking for the breach. We breach below this. And when I say breach below this, we're looking for a close 5-minute candlestick, 15-minute best. Okay. So 5-minute okay, 15-minute best. We're looking for the breach and hold for the push lower, right? So this would give us 474. Then once we start to breach here, we're looking for that push lower. Okay. If we hold this level, then we're going to go ahead and go long. If we start to bounce and we start to see that, levels are holding at this line here, we're going to go ahead and go long and look for that pop back up to the 482 range. We're probably going to play the 480s. Look at calls first. 2026. All right, we're at four. Why was it lower? Oh, because this is a pre-market. Okay, so we only got the thing. So we're looking at we get a better price, by the way. Because this right here is essentially saying it's in the money. We get a way better price of this one because we're already $3 lower. Where's the volume at? People got high hopes for this thing, man. Right here, 485. That's the one that seems to be the the big boy. This is the other one, 490. Again, in those fives, right? The fives and tens. It loves it. Okay. So we'd be looking for that 480. We'll see what the price is on this one. I wager we're already $3 lower. The delta's moving 40 cents. So you can do 4 times 12, or you can do, if we stay current price, you can do 4 times 3. For the $3 move to the downside, that's basically 120. Take $120 off of the premium that we're paying. Say we got it, say we're looking at this. Let's call it the 425. This is the last one. So we're taking, $1.25 off of this, or $125 off of this. And that's going to be where we start to look for our price. All right. Last one. Unless we got another one in the room, but last one. Yeah, we don't have another one. Calling it. All right. IWM been on a tear. These penny stocks just ripping it. If you guys haven't paid attention to the penny stock stuff I'd be pushing out, man. We're putting out that fire. You guys should pay attention to it. Penny stocks are killing it. Right now, we got a nice little cup on the further out one. Um, I like this for the push to the upside. I mean, I like what the Russell is doing right now. People are going into the penny stocks. They're looking at potential trades on the small caps. Come on, Hazel. Come on, Will. Sorry, I was letting my dogs in. They were hitting the door. Yeah, so I like this for the breach to the upside. Let's go ahead and put levels. All right, there's our levels, right? Um, so for me, I'm gonna go ahead and put a line right here in the middle. Right here in the middle. This is gonna be my battle zone. This 222.75. Okay. We push above that. I'm gonna look long to a retest of that 226. So we hold below this. I'm gonna look short for probably a retest of that 220s, and maybe a little bit lower. So when we're looking at trades, of course, giving ourselves some time. Let's go ahead and look at calls first. Everyone's a bull at heart. So let's look at calls. 226, decent price. You can see the volumes there. This is the one right here, 225 is what everyone's trying to get into. Yeah, I can see it. That's the one I'd be getting into as well. If we push out a little bit, let's just go out a little bit. Let's go to August. I'm just curious. Look at that. I like that. That right there, 230 at at 2 August. If we stay bullish, I like that. That's a good one right there. 235, maybe. That's pushing it a little bit. 230, that's in range. 230 is in range. I like that one. Let's look at the shorts. The shorts, all right. 220, yeah. 219. People are betting on the little bit of extension. 215. That's weird. This would be a lotto. This would be a lotto trade. I don't think we have enough time on a dump to go ahead and make that. We probably need to look at 2 August and look at 215. Yeah, here you go. Be a decent trade. This would be a good hedge trade off the longs. We could do that one. 215. I like it. Spot. All right, last one. I got you. We'll do spot. Last one. Oops. Low. SPOT. Ooh, it popped. It popped on some earnings, didn't it? Look at that. Okay. Let's go 4 hour. Yep, we're there. 4 hour. We're in range. Okay. Yeah, I like it. All right. Oops. I like what I'm seeing here. I do like what I'm seeing here. It's a good push. Two 350 inbound. If we came out a little bit, what's our extension looking like? Extension's pushing us to 4. Wow, really? Like they're looking for acceleration on like that type of extreme? Have we been there before? Oh, we've been there before. Been there before or close to it. Okay. I'd be looking at this first though. We're at 243. I'd be looking at 245 first. So that's what we'd go with. We're here pushing up. We go 245, two or 350. 350, 345 first. We'd want to go ahead and breach. We want to breach first. And then after we breached, we could start looking for that next push acceleration to the upside. We'd be expecting rejection here. Once we reach a little bit, that 345 will give us a nice extension, and then we'd be expecting to have a little bit of decline and stuff like that. But all right, man. I appreciate you guys coming along with me. We got some good training out here talking about, lines and levels and stuff like that. You guys kind of saw how I look for setups and things of that nature. Yesterday we did a screener type of training. I showed you guys how to draw a screener using different things to pull up some charts. This stuff is kind of boring, okay? I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of boring. A lot of people don't like it, but this is the stuff that is the bread and butter of traders and investors. Okay, getting in here, this is the due diligence. Okay, this is hopping into the charts, looking at things. It's all in the eye of the beholder, and I want you guys to be out there and to be checking the stuff out. Yeah, got to be done, right? Yeah, got to be done. Those of you that aren't TWR market warriors or on the premium side of the house, I want you guys to know that you can. Oh, we got some stuff on YouTube. Hang on. Ace, good work. Appreciate you. Yeah. Hey, thank you all. You guys, love you guys over there on the YouTube channel. If you guys aren't TWR Market Warriors, hey, right now we got 50% off flash deal. I'm always trying to save you guys some money. So definitely if you've been waiting on the sidelines to try to get on to TWR, you can go ahead and hop on and look at that 50% off discount. Love to see you over there, man. Love to see you. Other than that, I will catch you guys in the morning. I got a hot penny stock that I'm going to push out to you guys tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock sharp. So make sure you're there. And other than that, man, I'll catch you when that market bell rings. And as always, if you're ready, follow me. Let's go to war. TWR. You can see it right there. Yeah, got my shirt on, everything. All right, guys.